is Christmas time in Reggio Emilia, Italy, where I have been living for the last 10 months studying innovation in food. Christmas time is a special time of year around the world because it's when we remember the recipes that our grandmother used to make for the Christmas meal, or we have some sort of special tradition that we do as a family. And here in Reggio Emilia, what I've been studying is what do those traditions mean when we are asked to try new things in food? What happens when somebody asks us to change our behaviors with food? If we have this deep tradition, like the people here in Reggio Emilia do, about where our food comes from and what it means for our culture and our identity, does that make it harder or easier to try new things? Is it a tension that is able to be broken? We are in Cafe Fontanesi, in Piazza Fontanesi in Reggio Emilia. And this is a beautiful square filled with cafes and restaurants. And like this one, they feel old and rich with tradition and history. One of the interesting things that I have found about Reggio Emilia after living here in the last 10 months is this tension or this paradox. Because it's a city that prides itself on its deep traditions about food and identity around food, but it's also this really surprising hub of innovation. In the last several years, there's been an explosion of incubators and tech startups. There is a fab lab here. There's a true spirit and a kind of excitement about trying new things and finding new and exciting ways to do things. So I asked myself the question, what is it about this region and this city that makes it possible to both maintain this deep tradition, these rich cultural identities and shared cultural values around tradition, and also be a kind of central point for innovation, specifically around food? Is it really possible to innovate in food in a city that is so attached to its traditional products like Parmigiano Reggiano or aceto balsamico, balsamic vinegar, or Parma ham, for example? This is the food valley of Italy. And so I talked to quite a few people who work in this space. The results were interesting, very curious, and I wanted to know what it was or why it was that they succeeded in innovating in the food space here.
Okay. Scusa un po', fai un po' chiudere le cose da Filomeno lì, le porte che le tieni sempre aperto. Chiudi un po'. No, lasciate. Tutte, dai. Sì. Ciao a tutti, io sono Gianni D'Amato, ci troviamo qua al Caffè Arte e Mestieri, ristorante in via Emilia San Pietro a Reggio Emilia.
Ciao, sono Fulvia Salvarani, sono la moglie dello chef qui a fianco e ci troviamo sempre al Caffè Arte e Mestieri.
Ah giusto, non avevo detto che ero lo chef, perché rielaborare nella tradizione, innovare nella tradizione penso che sia molto importante. Però l'innovazione nella tradizione, perché è una regione molto tradizionali dove ci sono tantissimi prodotti importanti. Le materie prime sicuramente sono quasi tutte per la parte tradizionale del territorio e lavorate decisamente con passione e maestria. Sì, l'importante è trattare con rispetto la materia prima, con le cotture diverse e forse alleggerendo e forse raffinando un po' di più il prodotto. Bisogna rielaborare e innovare sulla tradizione. La sperimentazione anche sulle cose tradizionali ti rende poi facile il tuo lavoro.
Beh, un esempio anche quello che hai fatto con l'erbazzone. È una visione di un prodotto che internamente è uguale all'erbazzone, ma esternamente ti sei avvicinato a popoli diversi perché hai utilizzato
prodotti anche esterni, sì, prodotti anche esterni alla regione. Vabbè, ma questo fa parte un po' del modo di lavorare di chi è in cucina, no? L'apertura agli altri, l'apertura al mondo per riscoprire anche i valori propri interni. Sono tanti piatti con l'aceto balsamico tradizionale, con la mortadella, con tutti i prodotti.
Cioè sono
di
provocazioni
qua.
poi.
Ma più che provocazioni sono sperimentazioni sul territorio, ma ammodernamenti, diciamo, su modernizzare il territorio.
Adesso mi viene in mente una cosa, se posso parlare,
Certo.
dato che parliamo di design, no, anche, o parliamo con una designer, no?
Sì.
E una cosa che è sempre stata fatta fino adesso sono stati i designer a decidere i piatti da realizzare per gli chef o per la cucina o per qualsiasi, cioè sono sempre stati loro a deciderlo, no? Adesso si è rivoltata un po' la situazione, sono spesso chi sta dietro e chi prepara che vuole il piatto per sé o comunque l'oggetto che gli serve di più e che quindi dice al designer cosa gli serve.
E perciò è importante il discorso fra io che cucino e che faccio il prodotto e chi disegna il dialogo è importante. Trovare diciamo, l'attrezzatura giusta, il prodotto giusto per presentare la propria creazione. Perciò però l'innovazione è di tutte e due, nel senso io innovo sul prodotto, sul piatto e tu innovi sul disegno.
Abbiamo unito un piatto di design che diciamo ci si può giocare dietro perché è una tazza che diventa piatto. Ora, tanti magari quando mi ordinano mi dicono io vorrei la tazza che diventa piatto, non capiscono che dentro è il cappelletto che è l'importante, no? La tazza che diventa piatto, però è un gioco, è per far parlare, no? Quindi c'è un gioco tra l'innovazione di come è servito, l'innovazione del piatto, però poi alla fine c'è un ricordo di un prodotto molto tradizionale. Certe volte nel cibo invece si tende a fermare il tempo. Qualcheduno lo vorrebbe fermare, cioè vorrebbe rimanere a tanti anni fa, quando però non esistono magari più i prodotti di 40 anni fa o di 50 anni fa.
Non è possibile.
Quindi bisogna sempre invece evolversi per rimanere al passo coi tempi. Cioè, e quindi anche il cibo deve fare la stessa cosa.
La base c'è già e poi dalla base tu ci lavori. E poi sta a te modificarla come intendi modificarla. Poi che piaccia o non piaccia, questo è un altro paio di maniche.
I'm Andrea Bezzecchi. I'm the owner of Acetaia San Giacomo. Right now here we do produce traditional balsamic vinegar of Reggio Emilia DOP or PDO and artisanal vinegars. I was studying, I just started the university, and when I finished, when I got the law degree, it was a natural process. I decided to keep, the tradition alive. Something really important to know about our tradition, that everything was made because of passion, not because of making money. We are in Novellara. We moved here in we moved here 10 years ago. We didn't want a simple facility like an industrial facility, so we just we were looking for something really connected with the territory and with our history. In fact, this house, the first historical document, traced back to 1536. For example, for us, after the Second World War, there was an incredible explosion of technology, etc., especially, in the last 10-15 years. And it's like that we are almost, forgetting how the traditional things are made. That's why every time I explain how the traditional balsamic vinegar is made, is so fascinating, because it takes time, and time right now is something that everybody seems don't have enough. So thanks to the technology, you can keep the production and also the tradition alive. The real focus for the producers is to know and to understand when you have to stop. Why the technology in faceto is so important? Because usually when home producer of wine vinegar used to make vinegar at home, they just taste it. So the sensibility of each producer was really involved. But you know, this kind of sensibility, we are losing it. You know, because everything is ready. Nobody is making like anything at home. There is a big discovery right now about making bread at home, making beer, etc. And I think that thanks to the technology, we can also allow people to rediscover the passion of making wine vinegar at home. Because of our heritage, we are very connected with the tradition, and for some reason we are also really, you know, stopped. So there is a kind of tension, you know, like the same tension that a tree has, like from a very deep root, and you know, with the top of the tree looking on the sun. So the tradition itself is for some way an innovation that has been you know, recognized as something good. So in this area, every time you walked in this area, if you drive to Reggio Emilia, you can see a beautiful bridge from Calatrava, the Medio Padana Stazione, etc. And very close to a barn with a lot of cows that every day they make milk for making a cheese that has been made for 1,000 years. So it's just to try to stay in the middle, to never forget the tradition and to feel the pressure toward the innovation. So the concept is, thanks to the technology, you can keep a tradition alive. Okay?
That's a good one.
I'm Stefano Marzani from Liquid and Relab, and I'm from Reggio Emilia. I'm a PhD in innovation management, but I started as a computer scientist. Dedicated part of my life immediately after the university to the study of the relation between the humans and technology. I co-founded with other guys, friends, a university research group on human-machine interaction, where everything started. After the creation of this university research group in human-machine interaction, I co-founded with the same guys a company called Relab. Relab is now one of the leaders in Italy of what we call interaction engineering. In this case, merging not just technical competencies, but human competencies. What does it mean? It means ergonomics, psychology, design, interaction design. Because nowadays creating innovation, especially in a place like this one, where traditionally you have values coming from food, well-being, stay well, community-driven values, means even more today to engage with technology in a proper way. Starting from food, we have thousands of history here in producing things. Food, first of all, but then other objects with very incredible artisanal skills. So how we can bring value to products, to food process, using digital values, using a digital platform to valorize this attention that we have in every single piece of what we are doing maniacally. I think that we do not have to change tradition. It's not against tradition, innovation. It's a way to valorize them in a different way, or in a better way in this case. So the usage of apps to discover a restaurant, or the usage of Google Maps to go somewhere, or the usage of Amazon to buy things. This is not just Silicon Valley, it's even Emilia-Romagna. Small appliances of kitchens are really impacted by this kind of technology, digital everything. It's changing radically the way we organize it for the food preparation, for the delivery, for the communication of food. If that particular space is not well designed, it's a fail. It's an automatic fail. There is no possibility, one, to succeed, and secondly, to recover from the bad experience. And how to design a proper user experience through a website, through an application, through the packaging of your product, and everything has to be consistent and responsive and reactive and expressing values. And again, expressing traditions in our case. That, for example, we are working with a very important coffee machine maker. What we are experiencing with this coffee machine maker is amazing, because through digital technology, so through an app, through a connected coffee machine, we really for the first time explain the history of coffee, and we give consciousness to the user of what taking a coffee means, where the coffee comes from, the flavor, what are you experiencing, the caffeine. And the caffeine intake opens another world, because through HealthKit, that is the new framework of Apple, for the first time you have a precise measurement of it through the coffee machine maker measurements. So how to explain this better quality in producing food, the ham, the Parma ham, what the tigella is, the gnocco fritto, and other things that are really relevant in this space, because you can tell a story that is more complete to users and the consumers. And this is amazing, really, to explain better what something means and the foundation of it.
I've spent the last 10 months in Reggio Emilia learning quite a bit about food traditions, and I can feel the sense of pride and this kind of strong attachment to a gastronomic heritage that literally makes up the identity of people here. But what I've also found incredibly fascinating, and as I found when I interviewed Stefano and when I interviewed Johnny D'Amato and when I interviewed Andrea, is that there's a similar celebration and respect for innovation, and that the two are not mutually exclusive. In fact, it's design and the design of an experience that becomes kind of the spoke of a wheel of conversations about food and innovation. Because if the design of an experience is good, and it doesn't matter if it's with aceto balsamico or with parmigiano reggiano or the other products that are typical of the region, if the design is good for a small app that helps people have a really good experience with their health or with their food or with their nutrition, people respond to that. And the design is what makes that emotional trigger happen. And Reggio Emilia is a particular place for that to happen. I thought it was going to be hard to innovate in food here, but it's not. And what I think is actually the fulcrum of that experience for me is design. If it's a well-designed experience using design methodology and talking to people about what they want, what they need about food, you can change people's behaviors and you can create new traditions in food.